All right, greetings. So, um, yeah, yesterday, so it didn't go to this target. It just covered the risk zone instead. So now that it's on this side of the risk zone, that obviously means that it's targeting this. Uh, so you can see that this is about 156 pips away versus the stop of 72. So that's still a 1 to 2 if you got into this trade at this time, which I do. I have switched position, and now I am targeting this for the long term. So I haven't changed any of these lines. Um, as you can see, this was set 2 days ago. So I attempted to hit this as a target, stay under this, and hit this as a target. It decided not to do that and turned, and so I said that that would mean that it's hitting this target here. So we still have a risk, a smaller risk than reward for this second trade. So we'll see how that works out. See how that happens. So again, I'm not moving any of the lines, just waiting for one of these targets to hit. So for the horizontal, that takes care of this. For the horizontal polarity trading strategy, there was a polarity created yesterday here. You can see that here. You've got a min here and a max here. So this is a polarity, and that's essentially what I'm doing is trading from polarity to polarity, and using the gap between the polarity as the risk and the next polarity as the target. So that's all I need to do with this strategy. I do have a little bit of too much clutter here, and I would like to keep each target one ADR apart, a single ADR apart. But this does increase the amount of times I would need to trade. So it's possible that I could also increase this to weekly ranges, which is more like swing trading. If I'm using daily ranges, that's more like day trading. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. The weekly range, the average weekly range would be, we just need to change this to weekly and get the ATR for that. It's 170 pips. So if I look for targets that are 170 pips away, at least 170 pips away, then I could work off that. And I might as well do that as long as I'm making videos. So let's try to do that. First thing I want to do is look at the polarities, what polarities we have. I knew there was a recent polarity, like I said there, so I'll mark it. Then I'm going to look for some other polarities. I'm looking for around 170 pips away. This is about 120 pips away, so but this definitely looks like there is a lot of mins here. Here's a max here, so definitely they were trying to define a minimum. So I can use that as a polarity, and we can see that there are some other. There's a polarity here, also here, polarity here. So I'll use this. Okay, so that's about 170. I'll use that, and then I want to go up 170. And I think there's something here. So we can see some mins here. We see maxes here. That is a clear polarity. It was a long time ago, but there's nothing in here. Just a lot of empty space. So the most recent thing that was here between around 170 pips is that. You can see that's about 130. So starting at 100, we've got about the same thing, and it's really not is not 170. We've got another polarity here, which looks pretty good. But we also have this. So why don't I just mark this, and then I decide to decrease this somewhere around here. We should see some activity. So perhaps like this. Now you can see that this is pretty thick compared to these two. This polarity here is pretty thick. Yeah, this is also a possibility here. The most important thing is that since I'm coming from, I'll be coming to this as a resistance, I want to mark the effects of the resistance. So these mins will act as resistance, and then these maxes are products or effects of that. So I'll just keep it here as a mark to what the effect of that resistance was, these maxes, these maximums. Okay, so let's do that. Now, this actually looks further away than this. You see that's, yeah, this is definitely much closer. This is about 100 pips away. This is about 120 pips away. So if I'm if I measure about 100 pips away here, I don't see a very well defined resistance there. So this is the closest one that I see. Okay, so let's just leave it at that, and that is at 105.88, and this is at 106.3. So that's clearly kind of like in the middle of, not even before. I mean, it's much before, much sooner than this target. So, and also another thing I wanted to say is that there's that within the 24 hours, there's enough room for this to remain a reward within the next 24 hours. But after the 24 hours, then we'll start looking. I'll have to start looking at using this region as a sort of as a risk region, and then for it, if it's higher than here, and then targeting below here as turning this into the reward region and the target. You can see that it's inverting. This triangulation is inverting, and this region is becoming smaller. Okay, so that's it. Let's see what happens tomorrow.